All right.
So
Cool.
speaking of the buy box,
Mhm.
now a lot of people don't know that you have the tool to fight against other sellers. So I don't know if any one of your other episodes have gone into this, but if you own the trademark on your brand name, on the product name or whatever it is, there's actually a department in Amazon where you can file a trademark infringement on the other
Mhm.
sellers that are selling your product, if they're not authorized resellers, of course. And Amazon, within 3 business days, will take down that entire account.
Well, let me speak to you about this. You and I can have a whole conversation about this because I'm intimately familiar with it. In fact, I'm gonna up you on this. They will do it instantly after you file your first infringement report. Because what they will do is on the first time you ever, and by the way, this is done through brand registry, not through Seller Central. But when you do that, they will put it under review. And then once they review and then they see everything checks out, then your next report and next report and next report, you hit submit, and then you refresh the page, it's closed already, and they are removed. In some cases, if the seller challenges it and they produce commercial invoices and things like that, they are likely to come back and say, it sounds like this is a matter between you and the seller. They produce third-party verifiable commercial invoices, which gives them the right to sell. Then please take it up directly. Sometimes that happens. That's been my experience, but 95% of the time, it works. So this is definitely a way to go, right?
The beauty of what I'm talking about is actually for that scenario. The group that I'm referring to is Amazon's litigation team, and it's not through brand registry. And that you just have to have a rep on this department or a contact. And as soon as you email them saying, hey, look, I know this person created documents, but they were not approved to sell on Amazon. They were only approved to sell at John's convenience store in Alabama or whatever. And then the litigation team will actually take them down in 3 days.
I see.
So this is beyond the regular trademark infringement. This is actually through a secret program in Amazon where once you've made a certain amount of sales and you have these types of issues, Amazon, you can have a rep in this department that is part of the Amazon legal litigation team. And you just shoot them an email saying, hey, look, this is what's going on. I need help. Amazon doesn't want to lose its top sellers. Amazon doesn't want to lose the buy box people who are actually increasing revenue. Because think about it, if you're selling your product for $100 and that guy's selling your product for $60, Amazon makes more when you sell the product, not when they sell the product.
Yeah. Well,
right?
I mean, yeah, let me tell you this. This is people are so uneducated about these things. So I have a client, and I'm not going to say what product it is, but their item was selling at $34.95. And they sold to retail chains as well as direct to consumer on Amazon. The market turns, the demand goes down. The chains that they sold to dump inventory. Now resellers coming out of the woodwork. The price went down to $7, $8. You know what this particular seller did? They went into price wars.
And you can't win in that setting.
It was murder. It's like murder in daylight. And when I came on board, I said, what are you doing? He said, well, at least this way we can make a few bucks. I said, you're killing your brand. How can you allow? Well, what do we do? They just didn't know. They knew nothing about how to go about it and how to how to report and where to report, and most important, how to report. They had no idea that they had these rights. So we got the whole thing fixed pretty much in a couple of days, but 2 or 3 sellers complained.
Yeah,
And they produced commercial invoices.
of course it did. You know one of my favorite stories? Black
Yeah.
Friday. There was this one brand that I was working with, and they did like 80% off on Black Friday. And there were
Oh my
consumers that bought hundreds of their products and just listed them on Amazon come January. And they were like, we don't know who these people are. Why, how are they getting inventory? We don't get it. I'm like, all right, give me the last 6 months of your sales history. Let me get an understanding of your discounting. And it's just, some brands just don't understand that when you give people access to, less than wholesale pricing because of a seasonal holiday, you're gonna get resellers popping up. And so if you don't have access to these programs and trademark infringements and so on and so forth, like you just don't have a way of fighting.
Yeah, and there is another way for people to get their hands on your merchandise cheaply.
Right.
They register for Amazon Business Program, and before you know it, they have these extra discounts that they are receiving directly from Amazon. So they couple it with the discounts that you are offering, they can get up to 40-50% off. And then the next thing is they are reselling just for extra cash flow.
Yeah.
So these things do happen. Cool.